Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for the premiere of True Detective Season 4, the Night Country Part 1. This is the latest season of the anthology. I'm very excited because I haven't seen all the seasons. My favorite season is one of the ones that people like the least. But I love this show. It's a great procedural. It's a great crime anthology, and I'm very excited because of the location of this season. I think there's a lot of things to explore, and we definitely dug into a lot in this episode. Uh, and let me give you a quick summary of this episode. In Ennis, Alaska, the men that operate a research station vanish. To solve the case, Detective Danvers and Navarro will have to confront the darkness themselves and dig into the haunted truths that lie buried underneath the eternal ice. This season, as I mentioned, is set in the fictional town of Ennis, Alaska, which is a mining outpost so close to kissing the North Pole that on one night in December, the sun sets for the last time, leading into weeks of endless night. Jodie Foster plays an ornery police chief, Liz Danvers, while boxer Kali Reis plays Liz's colleague slash adversary. They have a very interesting relationship. Evangeline Navarro, who's a state trooper, haunted by an unsolved case of a local woman. Um, yeah, I mean, first of all, having this odd pairing, um, Jodie Foster just comes in and does a really good job, like this, kind of like someone that's been around the block for a long time, someone that is just kind of tired of this, right? Being in a small town, being in a remote town like this, knowing that you're about to go into 30 Days of Darkness. Now, I'm not very familiar with Kali Race, but I think overall the portrayal, very tough state trooper, for sure, doesn't really take shit from anyone, which I think was a very interesting dynamic to pair them up together with that. There's a lot of side characters as well. I don't want to go too deep into it, but of course, there's other police that work with Detective Danvers on the police side. There's also all the intricacies of this small town where everybody kind of knows everyone. Everyone's up in everyone's business. The whole town really depends on like one or two industries, right? There's a lot of stuff there, and of course, once again, as I mentioned, the setting of being in Alaska, the setting of being in a place that is about to go into 30 days of darkness. And of course, there's a lot of exploration of the native culture and maybe um, some of the things that these people believe in. Right? There's a bit of where they have their culture. There's a bit where we have science and police work, and those things come clashing in. The disappearance of these people at the research station, it's unraveled very like slowly throughout the episode, and I think it pays off towards the end of the episode. Now, I don't think this show's perfect. I think it's got a few pacing issues for me. I think there's a few things that could be a little bit tighter when it comes to the storytelling, but I feel like they're planting seeds. So I'll have to go back and revisit those issues at the end of the season, because if there were things that were going to pay off later on, then maybe it was definitely something that, it's just the premiere, it's just the first episode. This isn't the full show. Um, it had some really interesting musical choices, including a Billie Eilish song, which a song that I like, so I was on board with it. Uh, and it doesn't really clash to me with the mood of the show. But I can see, I think, from what I've seen online, there's been a little bit of criticism of this first season. But then again, as of this fourth season, but comparing all this stuff to the first season, which I've mentioned, that's not my favorite season, but I know it is for a lot of people. A lot of people found that first season just to be like miles above anything that had been on television as of that time. But yeah, so I won't be doing any comparisons to previous seasons. I think I want to judge the show standalone on its own, very similar to Fargo, right? Those seasons. The beauty of an anthology like this is that you start clean, a clean slate every season, and you kind of go from there. And so far, I'm fully committed. This is one of the shows that airs on Sunday nights, where the premiere HBO shows air. So I'm very excited that we have some appointment television back on my calendar. I don't think I'll be doing reviews for this weekly, but I'll definitely revisit this unless next episode really knocks it out of the park, or unless I see a lot of people really wanting more reviews. So let me know down in the comments if you want to see this weekly. I like doing things that people want to see on the channel. So definitely, if there's more need for people to watch reviews weekly, then I'll try to make the time. But overall, this was really cool. I haven't really heard the podcast episode that goes with this. I do appreciate HBO doing a little bit of extra commentary on their own episodes. But the season preview looked fantastic. So I'm very excited to get into all this. There's a lot of other things that the show explores, like being a parent and how that contrasts with your job, your relationship, being a police officer in a town like that, how that affects your relationships. Like I said, there's a lot of side characters I don't really touch on because I don't know that I have enough from their performance yet to really judge them. But like I said, I think Jodie Foster really is kind of holding on to the show, and I feel like pairing her with someone like Reis, who to me is kind of a newcomer. I don't know, like I said, I don't know exactly what other roles they've been on, but so far it looks like a really interesting pairing. So very excited to see where this goes. And like I said, the ending of this first episode just kind of left me like, what the fuck are we gonna do from here? So, uh, you know. But if you have seen this episode, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.